Doing this job we endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani kwenu kabisa kama wananchi.
To bring you the most credible news. We thank all our viewers for their commitment. NASA TV is a people-driven channel, meaning our content direction and style comes directly from our viewers. We would like to appeal for your help to NASA TV to boost and improve our standards. You can contribute directly to NASA TV by donating to Airtel Paybill number 555155. Support NASA TV. NASA TV, mambo yabadilika. We endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani kwenu kabisa kama wananchi.
To bring you the we endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani kwenu kabisa kama wananchi.
To bring you the most credible news.
Happy New Year 2018. This is Opinion 2018 and this is the first show of 2018. Thank you very much for joining us. And on this month, which is the January, as some people may put it, on 30th of this month, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga is set to be sworn in as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya and Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka as his deputy. Raila made it very clear 2 days ago in Kakamega County during the People's Assembly of the Western Region that he will be sworn in, regardless of Githu Muigai's opinion that being sworn in is treason. It's also the back to school season. We're going to be looking at that a bit later. But today, there's a young man in studio, Babior Newton. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Babior Newton, those names. Babior Newton. Are those both your names? Is there a pseudonym there or those are both your official names?
That is where they say,
yes,
heri kuwa na jina mzuri kuliko kuwa na, than having a bad record.
Okay.
I'm better off because I have a good name.
Okay.
But we know people, countless numbers, but I will start with number 2.
No, come on.
Countless.
No, we haven't even started.
No, who doesn't know this guy doesn't have a good name?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who's called number 2.
Number 2.
I don't know who's called number 2 in the first place.
No.
Number 2 in the Olympics, in the marathon, in the what? Recent KCPE exams or what?
The guy who has always told us that he's clean is cleaner than Angel Gabriel, but we know that they sing. You don't know number 2, you?
Well, let's not get into that.
Oh, okay.
Babior Newton, karibu sana.
Yes.
Babior Newton is an author. He's authored other books, but the book you're going to be looking at today is the Raila conspiracy. Well, I was looking at this title.
I thought you would have added the word TVIM after that Raila conspiracy.
Well, you could have added it. You could have added it. But what came to my mind when you said, when I looked at the title of the book,
Yes.
the Raila conspiracy.
Yes.
So I was wondering, is it a conspiracy he authored, or is it a conspiracy against him?
That is a very interesting question.
Yes.
It is, this, it's a conspiracy against him.
Okay.
For me to decide on the title of that book, we really tried. Me to put the title of the book as The People's President.
Okay.
Because we were envisioning what is already happening in the country at the moment.
Right.
And then when we got stuck at the Raila conspiracy, we asked ourselves, we did a lot of case studies. When you say the Raila conspiracy, it means there's a lot of forces. One of them, which I have mentioned in this book, is elite. As much as we angled close to an elite fracture in the last poll, the elite, which categorically, you know them, they call themselves the Mount Kenya Mafia. That is their pseudonym.
Whoa.
They proved so much powerful, and they proved so much lawless that even when the election was won, they decided that they were going to play in their own box, out of the box, and ensure that they retain their man in power.
Very well. I just want to look at some bits, just the forward and the people who've done the forward. The book is titled The Raila Conspiracy, The Secrets Behind Denying Him the Kenyan Presidency. We're going to be breaking that down. I don't know if it's in the place of anybody to deny another person the presidency. The Constitution says the sovereign power belongs to the people.
Yes.
So if the people decide you are the president, who am I or who is somebody else to deny you the presidency? We'll be getting into that.
Yes.
Let's just have a look at, there's a very interesting bit here by Morgan Changirai.
Yes.
And Morgan Changirai, in this preamble,
Yes.
I'm just reading it quickly.
Yes.
Raila Odinga is a name that is synonymous with the new narrative of clamor for good governance. I know him as a friend of progressive politics and hope in a brighter tomorrow. This book attests to his struggles to get there, and those are the struggles of few other like-minded Pan-Africanists. Morgan Changirai. Let me just read one more.
There's also my friend Wale Serote there.
Wale Serote, yeah. Wale Serote is saying, Babior Newton is a great author. I happen to have seen this book on Raila Odinga at a very early stage and believed that it was going to be a great book. His style of writing is very fearless, revealing and refreshing to candid readers. The way he uses his art of expression is a great concept weapon for our young democracy. Since this book is about someone I really look up to, I would like to assert that he has given the book maximum and in-depth research. Wale Serote, author of History, is home address. South
By the way,
African
we talked with Wale Serote last night.
Wow.
He told me, we were discussing the politics of Africa.
Yeah.
If you want to know that a country has held a free and fair election,
Yes.
you can observe the way the people react. Look at Liberia, for example. When George Weah was announced as the president of Liberia,
Right.
you could see the celebration everywhere in that country. There was a lot of celebration, there was a lot of happiness, and everyone really liked what was going on.
Right.
Look, in Kenya, a president is being announced, then celebration only lasts for 3 hours.
Right.
The rest of the hour has been stemmed on who do we now make the next president.
Very well. Let's get into it. When did you author this book?
I started writing this book 3 years ago. That means 3 years ago, I had already known that there was going to be a massive election rigging.
3 years ago,
3 years
you
ago.
already knew
Yeah.
there was going to be electoral malpractice
Yeah,
of such magnanimity,
yes, yes.
as we witness.
And because I just don't want to mention the names of some people, but I will say that communicating with my people who are outside this country,
Right.
I was able to get a lot of information on how the state machineries, statecraft, and the aristocrats who are stemming their political ambition in the winning of Uhuru Kenyatta in a 2017 election as part of their walkway to power, how they ganged up and how they decided that this was going to be a hard tackle for them, that they had to rig it.
Well, I mean, Babior, you're saying some very explosive stuff.
Yes.
But I'm not encouraging you to mention names.
Yes.
But it only looks a bit credible if you go a step further. Because I don't know. How do you... Who are these sources? Who are these people?
Let me be simple and straight to the point. The day when Issa Hassan was removed in that office, he was succeeded. You just have to join the dots. That might be, even when they left their office, their influence might have been progressively continuing to even influence the current puppies who are sitting at the anniversary towers masquerading as the electoral officers, where they know very well that we know that they took money, they colluded with the system, and they were part of the conspiracy to deny Raila Odinga the presidency.
Well, we haven't had much about the book since it was there a launch. What happened? Because my expectation would be, because it has such a weighty accreditation,
Yes.
you don't get Morgan Changirai to make a mention on a book every other day.
Yes.
You don't get the likes of Boniface Mwangi, who I've seen as well, and
Yes.
the people you've mentioned to do a forward in a
Yes.
book. But wasn't there a launch, perhaps, just to let guys know that, hey, this is out?
I would like to give you a very interesting ordeal which led to and what really happened. You know, I walk around here and I hear people saying so many things about me. Some people posting so many negative things on social media, and I'm wondering where they're getting all this information. And some of the media station, prominent media station, some of them were burnt, and were burnt because of trying to bring the imbalanced news which they were bringing. Ahead of the launch of the book, there were a lot of friction. There were
So
many.
you had a planned launch?
Yes.
Okay.
There were so many people who were calling me, and they were interested because the book was actually trending on YouTube, actually as -- 1. So I tried calling some members of media left and right that I needed to be hosted by them. A certain director in a certain station, told me, in Nation, let me say, in Nation Media, told me that they will not host the book because the book was of Raila. A director of a news told me.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, he told me that he was not going to give me a chance because Raila's face was in the book. So I asked him, Nation, which has always been outrightly saying that they are producing a balanced news, how comes did it become a branch of Jubilee?
Well, I don't know, Babior, that's a rather hard question for me for me to answer. But it's quite unfortunate
because
if that happened.
Look, my career as an author was being sacrificed because I have done a book on Raila Odinga. I credit the same enemies that Raila had were now my enemies. I'm just a young person who is trying to communicate to the society.
So you are told categorically?
I was told. Those people told me that they couldn't even give me an airtime. They couldn't. All the reviews, everything, the editorial board, and one of my friends informed me that the editorial board said that they couldn't pass even on newspaper, even on TV.
Well, this is very interesting.
That is how far our politics can turn to.
This is very interesting because just yesterday,
Yeah.
a journalist was threatened
Yeah.
by a spokesperson of the deputy president, and actually it was an NTV journalist, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
Just hold that thought. Let me read two comments,
Yeah.
and then we get back to
Yes.
how and why did the launch not happen.
Yes.
Mike watching from Langata bypass, NASA Tibim.
Yes.
Are you standing on the bypass, Mike? Amon Jeffrey watching from County 001, resist. Lillian Ochieng, Happy New Year to you guys and NASA fans. We await for the swearing in of our president. I want the book. Can I have one, please?
Yes, you
Lillian
can
Ochieng
have.
is asking.
Yes, you can have.
You have enough copies?
Yes,
Okay.
what you have to do is to inbox me in my Facebook at Babior Newton and get your copy. And by the way, that guy who has talked about the swearing in, do you have an attorney? Because I can.
I'll get to the swearing in.
Okay.
I'll get to the swearing in.
Okay.
Watching from Dallas, resist Mkenya Steve. Thank you for watching from Dallas.
Yes.
Now the launch.
Yes.
After you've been told that you cannot get airtime
Yes.
in certain stations.
Yes.
I don't know what the other stations told you.
Yes.
But then what happened?
On 26th, somebody called me at
26th of which
night. July.
Of July.
2017.
2017. Okay.
Somebody called me in the evening and insisted that he would want to meet me about the book.
Okay.
And then when I met the person, all was a talk on how you like to buy the book. And what was surprising me is that there was a presumption that if I can also be kind enough to listen to more of the sentiments from the person who had now wanted to join me in ensuring that the books are circulated. So I declined. I declined the plan, which some of them I don't want to I will mention might be in memoirs in future.
Yes.
I declined a lot of requests. And I think upon my decline is when the group resorted for a Machiavellian tactic to ensure that the launch didn't take place. And upon that is when I was kidnapped on 27th at the city center.
Or you were kidnapped? Where exactly in the city center?
At the city center. I was actually in Koinange Street. I've just checked out of the vehicle, and two gentlemen who I don't know whether these are what has been propagated with the system of impunity. I can't remember most of that story after that, because in that condition, there is high probability that you lose your conscience. But I would like to condemn what happened.
So they kidnapped you, and how did you end up released?
What I understand with this act, that it was an act which was meant to thwart a book which was believed was going to generate a lot of discussion around the still rigging of election, which had ended. At that point, the people who were planning the rigging of election had concluded. They had sealed the plan and sealed the deals with the people who are to work on them. Look, we are not going to run a country where a militia own a country, or where somebody will wake up and because you think you are untouchable, you decide to go and massacre people or kill people, like what happened to, that incident happened. 2 weeks later, Musanda was actually killed. So this, you could see the nature at which these things happen. You can see a hand in it.
Okay, very well. Let us get now to the book.
Yes.
By the way, you are at the U.S. Embassy today?
Yes, I am. I am scheduled for a book tour in 6 states in United States, and I will be meeting a couple of friends who you know, we are in talks with, and we are doing very great things in future. One of them is my friend who is a mayor, who I'm going to meet there, and one of them also is business people, because part of this I do a lot of business.
Right.
Yes. And one thing which I have realized and I've seen, there's a lot of people. People really would like to read the book.
Right.
And as I've told you, that the conspiracy was real. Can you imagine that? There were bookshops in this country in 2017,
yes,
not in 1992,
yes,
which decided that they were not going to stock this book
because of the nature of its
they
content.
showed me a circular. They showed me a circular which was showing that they should not stock this book in 2017.
Wow. Now, let's get to the book. I mean, there's some very touchy issues here.
Yes.
The spin master theory,
Yes.
classified investigation, political games behind
Yeah.
closed doors, the theory of equilibrium,
Yes.
and statistics. Now, let's start with the dark hands in the third force.
Yes.
And you did mention Ababo earlier.
Yes.
What's the story about the dark hands in the third force?
You see, after the 2013 election,
Right.
there was a very interesting scheme to either rock the boat from the within or ensure that the tactic which William used in exiting the ODM in 2007, William would have wanted Ababu Namwamba to repeat it in 2013. That is why they were funding him all over.
But Ababu Namwamba was the
All
SG
over.
of the party.
Yes, that is why they were funding him all over to come with, oh, ODM fresh, ODM what. And that gentleman was in their payslip. This is a gentleman who was earning 1 million every week.
No, wait a minute.
And buying slim fits and buying sharpshooters.
No, I mean,
and not going in the village.
Wait.
In Budalangi. Can you walk in Budalangi with the sharp?
I don't know, but I own a few sharpshooters. But I'm not paid $1 million, Bob, a week. Yeah, but I own a few sharpshooters.
And
I may not have a slim fit shirt because of my body size and shape,
and speaking Kizungu mingi, antiquated English of Cicero, of how he was going, and he knows very well that is you know.
So you're saying
now where is Ababu Namwamba?
No,
Yes.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Before we get to that.
Yes.
So you're saying
Yes.
by the time
Yes.
he was going for the SG position,
Yes.
he was already
Yes.
in another payroll.
Yes.
And for what purpose?
You know, Ababu was in PAC. Was in parliamentary position somewhere.
PSC is actually
PSC.
Public Accounts Committee.
Yes.
Yes.
Where he will clear so many names. And even at one point he was at the center of controversy for have cleared names in an orthodox manner. And in that position, you know, there's a long relationship between Ababu Namwamba and William Ruto.
Oh,
a
really?
very long relationship.
Well, we haven't noticed.
A
It's
very
not been in the open.
And there is a very long relationship between the governor
Of where?
of Turkana. Huh? There's a long relationship. Huh?
I mean, Babior, this is becoming rather interesting. But before we get to the governor,
Yes.
let's restrict it to the dark politics of the third force.
Yes.
So 1 million per week.
Yes.
To do what and for what purpose?
To leak the information to TNA by then, to ensure that all the operandi of Raila Odinga and the plans were Jubilee were well vanished and in time.
So by that time,
Yes.
a conspiracy
Yes.
to deny Raila Odinga the presidency was already in motion.
In motion. Yani, this is something which was being driven calculatively. If it was something to go and get the information, Ababu Namwamba was the point person. And Ababu never only, and I don't want to discuss it much.
Yeah, I think we should.
Never not only got to a point where he felt, that is why you saw Ababu feeling like he's now like Raila. He's coming and saying,
it is not bad to want to feel like Raila. A lot of people want to feel like Raila.
Oh,
by the way, a lot of people look up to him.
Yes.
A lot of people want to be him. A lot of people will love to be him. It's not too many Kenyans who fill up Uhuru Park at the snap of their finger.
It takes a long time. If I call a birthday party in my house and only 3 people turn up.
Very well.
3 people turn up. And if Mr. Odinga was here today, I couldn't even get, it's always packed.
You're right.
Yes.
Now, another thing in the book, the politics of equilibrium.
Yes.
What is that about? What's the science
Equilibrium is a concoction and synergy of how perception transform to numbers in politics. If by any way the swing counties, the reason why it is an equilibrium theory, because there is a swing. There are counties which the pollsters have done and have realized that in these counties, we are not sure whether there will be an outright winner, but there can be 48-52. The numbers are very unpredictable because of the personality of people in that place. One of those counties was in Masai's failed counties.
We're talking about Narok, Kajiado.
Narok, Kajiado, Northeastern, Wajir, the pastoralist community. And being that they were pastoralists, that one also defined why those places was swing state. Look, in 2002...
Did you also mention Kisii at some point?
Yes. In 2002, one of the pollsters in US had done the calculation and had seen that Ohio was going to be one of the only determinant states in the United States of America, where George Bush emerged controversially as the president. If those states ganged up and only 3/4 of them voted, there was a probability that Raila was going to defeat Uhuru Kenyatta with more than 2.6 million votes. But if those swing states were divided, Raila was still defeating, but with 2.5 million votes. How do we arrive on that? Because you can't claim to be a president when you only control 2 communities. A president who, when he speaks on the microphone, when he's having a presidential statement, kids are watching cartoon on the other side. People don't care. When he's doing the presidential statements, some people are on Facebook. That is the most President Kenyatta, and I say this respectfully. And I don't know how he's going to redeem his image. The time is running up. The time is running up. Remember, we are swearing on 30th.
Well, I don't know if he has an image to redeem or not, but that's besides the point.
Yes.
Just explain it to me, yes, like a 2-year-old.
Yes.
How do you arrive at the conclusion that, yes, certain areas, yes, are swing vote areas? Why wouldn't you say, for example, yes, that Homa Bay County, Kisumu County, Siaya County could be swing votes, or Murang'a County and Kiambu County? Why the pastoralist communities and Kisii?
Yes, it is very simple, my friend, because politics has a way of trying to overfeed the person who is contesting that he might. You know, if Kenya had a Guinness Book of Record, 2 people will have got this.
Who and who?
One is Boniface Mwangi, who the people lied to, that he was going to become a member of parliament, and even never got 30% of the votes. Another one is Peter Kenneth. He got more votes in Twitter and Facebook than on reality. Pollsters don't depend on opinion which are coming as rumors. They depend on behaviorism, history, and voting
Are you
pattern.
saying that my friend Boniface Mwangi
Yes.
and Peter Kenneth were rumors? I mean, come on.
Those who are relying on rumor mongers. How can you run an election because you are having a good billboard with a Kenyan shirt? Kenyan ati, my friend, you don't win an election because you are an activist.
So basically, the politics of equilibrium,
Yes.
then in this case, according to your book,
Yes.
did favor
Yes.
Raila Odinga, meaning that those perceived swing counties
Yes.
did vote for him.
And one thing which I've also mentioned in that chapter is the pollster. We are having a situation in this country where the pollster is a business. Have you heard of the pollster of late?
No, I haven't heard of them. I don't know where they went
Okay,
to.
when do you predict they will resurface again?
Well, they might resurface perhaps midway to the next
To
election.
come and
or
tell
when
us,
there's a crisis
to
and
come
somebody
and
needs,
tell us that William Ruto is going to win an election.
Well, I don't know. Who said William Ruto is vying in the first place? No, I think we're getting off the discussion.
We are not getting off. I'm just trying to use the pollsters. Even me, if I have lots of money, I will walk in Lavington and give Ipsos money, and they will do polls on me. First, we must ask ourselves, how do these pollsters make their money? Are they being paid to work, or they are working to serve an interest of the general public?
Well, they ought to be serving the interests of the general public. They ought to be objective in their work. They ought to be. But most unfortunately, that is not the case.
Is that I've never wanted sometimes to be on the limelight. But me, I had a dossier, and enough dossier from one of the pollsters.
Right.
And a lot of collected data in the last election, which was showing that Raila was even ahead. The people who have collected the polls in the ground came and presented the papers to the pollster that Raila was ahead of Uhuru Kenyatta. But in the same week, because the Jubilee spin masters were really working, when they gave the pollster money, my friend told me that the number has changed. Now Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who is leading.
So the pollsters are part of the conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Another one, which is number 3, is the media. I know of a media house in this country which was paid 600 million shillings.
600 million for what?
To propel a propaganda against Mr. Odinga and ensure that his image is tainted in a negative way. Another mechanism which was used as a conspiracy is the state machineries.
Hang on, before we get to that.
You mean you don't know these things?
Well, I wouldn't be in a position to get information as much as you do, but I think that's why we invite persons like you just to shed light on.
You have to know that the rumors which is being said that the mantle of power was sometimes missing is true.
I'll get to that just now after this. Please let that man explain. Give the author time to explain, please. Akinyi, there's something burning about that Nanok bit.
Yes.
I'll just allow you to get back to it after I finish reading these comments. Nicholas, you're saying 30th is the day.
Yes.
We will support Baba by all means.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Very well. You're talking about a rumor about. Let's get back into the media house of 600 million.
Yes.
And then the rumor about the sword.
Yes.
And then kindly revisit
Yes.
the Turkana governor issue.
Yes. You see, there was a situation ahead of an election whereby a media house was given 600 million. You know that if one media only switched to give a propaganda, which we have 3 main television stations. One belonged to the proprietor of that one we know. And if the other one only come and bring a wedge and propel a propaganda between a major candidate, it was working negatively on it. When this media house received 600 million shillings and ordered all their reporters and reshuffled their reporters, 6 weeks to an election, they reshuffled their reporters. They want to bring reporters who they call like-minded reporters. And that is why you see reporters making it to the presidential honorary.
Right.
Something which has never happened.
The HSC.
Yeah, and that is why you see the same Githeri media creating a Githeri person, just a person who is littering the environment and honoring. Somebody who has imported the village mannerism to a big city is being awarded as is being given a presidential honor.
Commendation, yes.
Commendation. And we have so many people who have done so many great things in this country. You can remember Westgate?
Yes, I do.
The gentleman who was carrying the kid from the police
Hajj
officer.
brothers, yes.
Yes. Do you think that guy doesn't deserve a recommendation? Then we have a state, we have a government which is awarding impunity and suppressing the people who are doing good to this to humanity. Why should we continue existing in such a situation as human beings?
So now the conspiracy is being pieced up.
Yes.
You have the pollsters.
Yes.
You have the state machinery.
Yes.
You have the media.
Yes.
That is also
Then
roped in.
Then you have the fourth one, which is called the elite.
Right.
It is in the last chapter of this book at the part. You know, for the first time in an election in this country, we tried to, the NASA Secretariat tried to bring an elite fracture. Elite, in liberal democracies, political parties are organized, and then elites fund the ideologies of those political parties. If you look at, let's say, United States of America, for example, or even Australia or Canada,
Right.
the elites, when they gang up against to support a system, elites decide where the presidency has to go.
But
When you have elites ganging against the people vote, but you can remember this quote, people vote, but ask yourself how many times your vote is being counted. The elite decide who to count your vote.
and as a layman,
Like there is a certain billionaire, city billionaire, who was going around the media house to tell them not to air the news when the Luos were being killed. That is how the elite affect the politics. Before Uhuru Kenyatta went for the election, they contributed 1 billion within like 30 minutes. That is how the elite power, really loath for power. And when you create so many elites in a country, when you win power, you become their prison. But that is why we had so many corruption in Jubilee government than any other government in the country. It was called a tenderpreneur government, where every elite want to get recoup thrice than what he invested.
right.
So when these elites sit down and decide, they are the one who even brand and come and say, oh, this person goes to the village and spread the lies that if this person become president, you will work with. Now, let me say this.
Yes,
and I will
please
say it with a lot of pain.
Yes.
Because me, even if unga become 300, I will buy it. The same people who are walking around saying that, oh, if Raila is voted president, he will make us walk in shorts. And now, next week, they are buying unga at 180. The same mothers who are in Jubilee sukas and saying, oh, if Raila is voted president, oh, this one will happen. Today, they are taking their kids back to school and they are paying school fee. Where is the Jubilee promise on school fee?
Right.
Waiver. Today, the same people who are totes of vehicles, owners of the Nairobi business community, who are threatening so much, are paying the same tax they were paying when Kidero was the governor.
Let me ask you.
What has changed?
Good question. Nothing much has changed.
The same,
it wasn't going to change.
The same young people who, rather than taking the responsibility of changing their country, they were busy being given 50 shillings and running around and campaigning for President Kenyatta and telling us not to call Raila Baba because we have our fathers at home, are sitting somewhere in these slums waiting for the government to announce for them when the jobs will be given.
Let me ask you. We are about to wrap up. I'm pressed for time.
And I will add, the list is on.
Yes.
The same we were lied to, that the delivery is going to be free.
Yes.
Hey.
I have exactly 2 minutes.
You know,
why? One question. Why do the elites fear Raila so much to make such a detailed conspiracy?
This is something that's a question which is older than me. The question is older than me. And I think even my father can't answer it. But Raila himself knows.
Very well. There are two issues that I would like us to cover in these 2 minutes. You mentioned something about the sword.
Yes.
And your thoughts on swearing in.
Something great is happening in this country today. We are disillusioned, we are discontented, but we are always trying to move to the touchline. As you have already said, the journey to Canaan is a very much unstoppable. But I want to allude from one very interesting story. One day, just 3 weeks before Jeff Kennedy was assassinated, he went to Dallas and he found some guy who was sweeping in the corridors in the astronaut place where the NASA center is. And then he asked that person that why are you sweeping the corridor at the moment? Then this guy responded. Then he said that for the NASA astronaut to get to the moon, they have to pass through this corridor.
Right.
That means this person saw himself as a part of the greatest thing that has ever happened in the world.
Right.
There are so many people outside there who they are not disillusioned because they are seeing themselves as a part of the greatest revolution that is yet to that is only having 3 weeks to happen. They will show up whether President Kenyatta fill the whole Nairobi with military. They will shed blood. Some of them will be killed, but they are vowing that they have to change the nation. We can't continue living this way. We can't continue living in a country whereby somebody just decide and say that unaona ile shamba ya mtu fulani ile ni yangu kuanzia leo. We can't live in impunity. What is that generation of leadership showing us? That when we grow up, we have to be people who are torturous and bully and greedy to some level. That we don't have anything which is ethics which is controlling us. We love our country, and if our country doesn't love us back, we will resort to very, very bad resolution which we don't want.
Very well. Yeah. Babior Newton, author, The Raila Conspiracy, The Secrets Behind Denying Him the Kenyan Presidency. Aman Moses, you're saying, I would like to have that book. We are getting it. Yes. And the name of the book. Tony Mishake, you're saying, watching live from Italy. Yes. The name of the book again is The Raila Conspiracy, The Secrets Behind Denying Him the Kenyan Presidency. That's by Babior Newton.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best in your tour
Yes.
in the US.
Yes.
Say hi to the mayor.
Yes.
If you happen to come with him again,
you
make
know-
sure he passes by
You
the
know,
studio.
I'm going in a very heated week when another book has also been launched there. It's called Fire and Fury.
Okay, people want to know. A lot of people are writing in, want to know where can the books be found?
Okay, you can go to some people like getting this book direct from me. I don't know, because of scarcity.
Okay, or maybe because they're autographed.
You know, information is what they don't want you to read.
Yes. So how would I get the book?
One, you can hit me on my Facebook at Babior Newton. Two, you can mail me at Babior Newton Projects at babiornewtonproject@yahoo.com. Or you can go to Prestige Bookshop and I will most definitely get information from there and you'll receive your book.
Prestige Bookshop, which one?
The Prestige Bookshop, which is in Mamagena Street in Nairobi.
Okay.
And if you're coming out of Nairobi, you can most definitely just inbox me on my Facebook, which I believe is running down there, at Babior Newton.
And then
yes.
you can make sure you do the deliveries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Man, thank you.
It was a
Yes.
pleasure.
Yes.
One day when you're touched, write
Yes.
a book about me.
Yes.
Thank you for watching. This is Opinion 2018.
Yes.
Keep it here as we let you know what is going on real time,
Yes.
unadulterated and unedited. It was a pleasure hosting Opinion 2018.
Yes.
Thank you and goodbye.
Yes.
We thank all our viewers for their commitment. NASA TV is a people-driven channel, meaning our content direction and style comes directly from our viewers. We would like to appeal for your help to NASA TV to boost and improve our standards. You can contribute directly to NASA TV by donating to Airtel Paybill number 555155. Support NASA TV. NASA TV, mambo yabadilika.